I think resilience is a key attribute that we need in the business world nowadays. In sport, Carl, I guess there's examples where you've had to bounce back, be it through an injury or a loss of form or being dropped. How did you overcome those moments?
I almost think it would probably be easier in the sporting world than it would be in the business world, because the result is quite tangible and very close to you. If the injury happens, you're given a set amount of time to get back from it, but that doesn't mean it isn't as important, because it's very easy to think that's my season done, or it's very easy to think I've been dropped, so I'm just going to go and sort of sulk around and get the day done, and see if someone else gets injured and things like that. The resilience again comes back to that sort of that drive to not just want to do it for your own personal pride, but to actually be like, I don't want to miss out on what this team has to offer me, if you know what I mean. I don't want to just be like, I'll just hang around in the background. And it is horrible. That's one of the worst parts about getting injured, is you do feel like you've been shelved, even if that's not what's actually happened. And you're just desperate to sort of pick your head up and be like, right, I'm gonna put that week out in front of me, that target, and I'm gonna do everything I can to get back to that moment, because otherwise you're missing out on all the things that being part of a great squad can achieve.
That makes perfect sense. The higher performing the team, the quicker you bounce back, I guess.
Exactly. Yeah.
What about the teams not performing? Have you had the experience of when the team wasn't flying quite as high as the Exeter Chiefs have been, and you still had to work through a setback then?
Yeah, I think I've had hugely shaky times. I mean, honestly, the time they're going through now is odd to say it, but is when they need to be one of their most resilient. I mean, we won that league in 2017. They've now since gone back to back-to-back finals and lost them. And it's actually a bit easier to be resilient when you're 8th in the table and you've lost 6 games in a row, because you're going out there with a sort of no tomorrow attitude, and it's you can go one of two ways, and you can pick up a bit of momentum and all sorts of change. Whereas now they're almost in a position where people are expecting them to get to semi-finals, or expecting them to get to finals, and that resilience to do all the little bits well on the road up to what is a 30 to 40 week program, to then get back to that point of winning it, that to me is resilience. And that's where people like Saracens at the moment are showing immense resilience, because how easy would it be for them to come in almost on the crest of a wave and not do everything they did last year, and not tick those boxes, and not do all the nuts and bolts. So resilience is not just a sign of how hard you can pick yourself up after getting knocked over. It's almost a sign of how well can you do your job after you've done it 99% as well as you could have last year.
Very good point. Very good point. And very true to business as well, isn't it? When you are a market leader or performing very well in your field, your competitors are coming after you much harder than if you're an also-ran.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, plenty of successful companies out there will still be wondering how they can improve, and it's almost harder to look at that when you're not in a crisis, and when it is time to say I want to go that extra 5-10%, what can you do at that point? And almost that's the most important time to do so.